This is why will win the Euros. So boys, this Sunday is the Euro final. England taking on Spain. Spain, a very impressive side in this tournament so far, beating the likes of Germany and France to progress to this stage. England, on the other hand, not just as great. With the style of football very questionable, and only managing narrow comeback wins against Slovakia and the Dutch, and beating the Swiss on pens. However, in saying all this, I still believe England are going to go all the way and will lift that trophy on Sunday, boys. Here's how, and here's why. So first of all, England need to use the experiences gained from Italy 3 years ago. Last Euro final, this is back-to-back England Euro finals now, man, and 3 years ago, they narrowly lost to Italy, but it was a game where they took an early lead. Luke Shaw providing the first goal of the game, like 4 or 5 minutes in, I believe it was. These players need to use that, you know, as motivation. I mean, you shouldn't need motivation for a Euro final. Representing your nation in a major tournament in a final, you know, you shouldn't need that, but these players should be using those experiences gained from 3 years ago as a learning curve, but also something to provide them with motivation for this game against Spain on Sunday, in an aim to strive to go one step further than they did 3 years ago. Now, let's talk about the personnel. I, for one, know there's many changes that I'd be making to this team, boys, before the game on Sunday, and I'm sure there's a lot of changes you boys would make as well, man, but we all know Southgate, and we know that man does not like change. One of the things I would do, I'd have Watkins up front, man. I've said this pretty much since after the first or second group game for England. I could see that Harry Kane wasn't working. I know a lot of you boys could see it as well. It's clear and obvious to see, isn't it, that he's not working on that side, man. I don't think anyone's questioning Harry Kane as a number 9, as a striker. He's a world-class player, man. No, I don't think anyone's denying that. It's more just looking at him in this England system, in this tournament. He hasn't really looked fully fit. He just looks off it, man. And also then, and I said in previous videos, even if he was fully fit, or even if he is, you know, playing to his max, the way he plays, I don't even know if it suits the way this England team actually want to play as well. So yeah, there's no question about Harry Kane and his footballing ability, but I would start Ollie Watkins up front on Sunday for many reasons. As I said this early in the tournament, boys. I just think him as a striker will give England more the way they want to play than Harry Kane will, man. England's semi-final against the Dutch on Wednesday night, I've seen Harry Kane in a left wing position at times, a right wing position at times, a number 10 position at times. The main position that I didn't see him occupy was the number 9. And obviously by Harry Kane coming short for the ball all the time, we know he loves to do it by not occupying that number 9 spot and being, you know, number 10, then left wing, then right wing. It's not allowing the players around him to flourish as much as they can be, because Harry Kane's occupying one of the spaces that they should be occupying. It's not allowing the midfield to push forward a bit more because he's occupying that space. So I really do believe that Watkins, as I say, should be starting this final. Now, Southgate won't do it. We know he won't, man. Harry Kane's 1,000,000% starting the final. I would be absolutely shocked if Watkins starts. But another thing I will say, boys, you look at that goal. Let's just take the goal, the winning goal, right? Ollie Watkins scores that winning goal for England to take them through to this Euro final on Sunday against the Dutch last Wednesday, right? Watkins scored that goal. He's the reason England are in the final. Now, I don't even look at the goal. I did a watch along for this game the other day, live on this channel. A lot of you boys seen it. You boys know my reaction to that goal, man. I didn't even look at the goal. Now, the goal's a brilliant strike. The goal is a brilliant strike, right? I think Watkins obviously proved he's the ability to score that type of goal. He's a great finisher. We know he is, obviously playing for Aston Villa in the Premier League. Harry Kane, if he's put in that position, right, he would score that goal as well. I do not doubt that, right? Harry Kane's a world-class striker and a great finisher, so he scores that goal, right? So both players, given that opportunity that Watkins had, they both score. I'm confident of that. The one thing I would say, though, is Kane doesn't get that chance because Kane's not occupying that space. Kane doesn't make that type of run. He doesn't get into that space to hit that shot. He's just not there, man. If Harry Kane was still on the pitch last night and Watkins didn't come on, they wouldn't have got that chance, man, and they'd be going to extra time with Netherlands. So for me, as I say, I don't doubt either of those players could score given the chance. Watkins was the striker that could get that chance. Kane wouldn't have got it. Kane's movement, the way he would move, he wouldn't be in that position to get that chance away, man, whereas Watkins was. And I think Watkins, just with his fluidity and his movement, he's obviously got a bit more mobility and pace about him than Kane does, and also he occupies the position in a number 9 spot, or else actually going beyond, you know, actually troubling defenders, making them look over their shoulder. Kane doesn't do any of that, and as I say, that's number 1 change to me. I would put Watkins in from the start. I really would, man. But will Southgate do it? I highly doubt it, man. Obviously, we gotta talk Luke Shaw as well, man. One thing for England this tournament, they haven't had a natural balanced left side. I mean, obviously Kieran Trippier, great professional, and he's done a job there for the man, but you know, it does restrict you know, creativity, I guess, from the left side whenever you don't have that natural left back. Now, we've just talked about Harry Kane and Watkins and who you boys would start. Definitely get in the comments and let me know, would you start Watkins over Kane? Are you like myself, or do you think he should keep Kane in, man? Let me know. Obviously, we think he will keep Kane in, but what would you boys do if you were given the chance? Let me know on that. We're pretty much guaranteed that he will keep Kane in. We know what Southgate's like, so get him further forward into that penalty box, man. You've got the likes of Luke Shaw now. Well, he's had a cameo in a couple of the games. He played like 20 minutes maybe in the quarters or round of 16. Well, I think it was a quarter-final, he played 20 minutes, right? Then it's obviously against the Dutch the other night, he played the second half, the full second half. So I'm hoping, there's been many questions about Southgate this tournament, boys, about, why is he not brought another left back? But, because he's brought Shaw, and Shaw hasn't been fit pretty much the whole tournament. Hopefully, Shaw is fit to start the final, man, and he can be brought in from the start. Because, as I say, having that balance down the left side, so it'll be brilliant for the transitions for England, man, because going forward, he has that natural left foot, so he doesn't have to check back like Trippier does and get it back on his right foot. Shaw, it's direct. He can take the ball in stride, get crosses in the box, and as I say, if Kane's occupying that space in the middle, and he can get in on that Spanish defence, man, and actually occupy the Spanish centre backs. Because having Shaw fit and whipping crosses in the box, if Harry Kane in the middle, there's no point to that, is there? But that's one thing I will say. If Harry Kane can get himself further forward in this game and have instruction to do so, there's going to be more quality ball into that box, man. Because obviously Shaw, well, that's if Shaw starts or Shaw plays a part, but hopefully he will now, considering he's played a little bit in the last 2 games. And obviously if Shaw's fit as well, boys, it opens up the potential for better build-up play as well. But let alone build-up play, we haven't seen much good play at all from England this tournament, to be fair. But build-up play is obviously built from the back, right? And a lot of the modern teams do that these days, the best teams, right? Now England obviously don't really play from the back much. They sometimes try to do it. They're not good enough probably to do it. But in terms of opening up more passes, more angles for passes, having a natural left footer, he can play that ball down the line rather than Trippier having to always cut inside and then passes are restricted and he's passing the ball into traffic and down, crowded midfield. Shaw's got that ability to travel with the ball, and obviously, he's got the left foot, so he can play down the line if need be as well, man. So he's got that balance, man. It balances. A lot of people now look at these inverted wingers, and that can be effective depending on the club that they play for and the way the tactics the manager instills in his players and on the team. Balance is key for a lot of teams too, man. And the fact you've got this Luke Shaw back, I think it's going to be big. The natural kind of ability of that left side, man, and not having to kind of slow the play down and cut back and check in, and then you're restricted passing wise on who you play to next, and obviously the tempo then is reduced. A load of things, man. So yeah, I think Luke Shaw being fit, and fingers crossed he's fit to start, that'll be a big plus for England as well. As I said earlier, boys, Spain have been no doubt, in my mind, the best team in this tournament. They played the best football. I think them and Germany were the best 2 teams, and obviously that could have been a final, but obviously the way the draw worked out, they met in the quarters and Spain progressed. They've been the best team, man. Obviously they've got a lot of stars in that team. Lamine Yamal has had a great tournament. Obviously he bagged his first goal the other night, but obviously he chipped in with a few assists before that, and they've really just been convincing, I think is the word to say, because England haven't been convincing. England have got their way through and they've grinded their way through. Spain have looked a team that have always nearly been in control of their own destiny. I mean, I always tip France in these international tournaments. I always think it's hard to look past them. Spain France there, the semi-final the other night, I couldn't see anything else but a Spain win before the game. I haven't rated this France team this tournament. They haven't turned up. They got well deservedly beaten by the Spanish the other night. So yeah, this Spanish team, it's top quality. There's no one going to deny that. The football they're playing, it's very easy on the eye, and they're really good going forward as well. They're dangerous, man, and that's one thing I would say about England. I mean, England have actually been good defensively this tournament. A lot of people question that going in, and rightly so. You look at England's attack and you think that'll be their strong point, and their defense might be a little bit weaker, but the defense has actually stepped up in this tournament and done a job. So it will be a very tough test against the Spanish on Sunday, though. It'll be their toughest test, no doubts. The way the Spanish team is attacking at the minute as well in the games, many men are getting forward and the players around the ball and the consistent pressure they're playing at and tempo, yeah, it'll be tough for England. It definitely will, man. But as I said this at the start of the video, this is why, cue the title, I think England can deal with it. It'll be a tough test for them, but I think they can deal with it. The fact England have grinded this way, I think it's the way England have got to this final, it just feels like it's written in the stars, man. The way they've grinded. Spain on paper should win this tournament. They're the best footballing team in this tournament, but we all know football, boys. We all know it doesn't always go the way it maybe seems like it is going, As I say, I think if Spain play the way they have all tournament, it'll be a very tough game for England. There's no doubts about that. However, England have grinded out these results, man. Every knockout game England have played, they've went 1 goal down, man. And in 2 of those games, one of the games they won on penalties against Switzerland. The other 2 games, they had to score late goals to try and get themselves back in it. I think it's the way they're grinding these results out, and they have a way about them this year that they're winning without even playing well. So it's crazy that they're in the final. It really is, but they deserve to be there, man. They've grinded out the results and fair play. So I genuinely think they're going to go all the way, boys. I do. I want your boys' predictions in the comments. Give me your score lines, give me your goal scores if you want as well, and let me know your general thoughts, because obviously this will be the last Euro themed video on the channel as well, until we get, obviously we'll get back into like transfer videos and back to Premier League content and stuff very soon. Drop your thoughts in the comments, man, on firstly, who you think is going to win the Euros, your scoreline prediction as well, and just your general thoughts on the Euros as a tournament this year as well. I've really enjoyed it, man. There's been a lot of goals in a lot of the games. It's been entertaining. A lot of shocks in there, you know, overperforming teams as well. You know, teams that maybe, you know, people were sleeping on before the tournament, and then you realise, oh, this team can actually play once we see them in action for a few games. So yeah, really enjoyed this tournament. Bring on the final, man. There should be a watch along on this channel on Sunday, so make sure you get subscribed, get notifications on. I should have a watch along for the final with you boys, so looking forward to it, man. 8 o'clock Sunday. Bring it on. And my prediction, I hear you ask? 2-1 England.